Hello, hello. The topic tonight is going to be faith over fear with my friend Ashley, and she is what we refer to as the Christian nurse. So we're going to be hearing from my friend Ashley tonight, who's going to be talking to us about faith over fear, and she's also she's on right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send her a request, and we'll get this to her in just a second. And you will meet my friend Ashley, who is a nurse and a graduate of BYU. And here's so this is super exciting. Who's excited to see Ashley tonight? She's going to share with us being an LDS writer and speaker. And hey, Ashley, it's good to see you.
To see you too.
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, this is exciting. It's been a while.
Yeah,
So let's give some back. I'm sorry.
I said it's been a minute. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I said it's
Oh,
been a minute.
it's okay. So it's been a minute. Well, we just got off the phone a few minutes ago, but we won't go there. Our friend AIY says, "Hi, friends." Hollywood says, "You're alive." Yes, I am. But we want to introduce yourself. So I'm going to say that you are an LDS nurse that is a graduate from BYU. And tonight's topic, you're also a writer and a speaker. And tonight's topic is faith over fear. So first of all, how was your Sabbath, Ashley?
It was great. We had a Christmas program at church. I got to play the cello, so that was fun. Just beautiful
Oh,
music.
that's awesome.
We had a dating class in Relief Society, so that was great.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. So we just had our Christmas devotional at our stake center tonight. So that's why I'm still dressed up in my bow tie and my red handkerchief and all that fun stuff. So now, so we met each other because for my career, I work as an LDS literary agent. So I help LDS authors uh, get published with publishing houses. And you had written a book, but when we started talking, you were working outside of Washington, D.C., and then we got hit with this pandemic. Do you want to share with us about that?
Yeah, definitely. These last 2 years have been quite the unexpected, crazy experience in my life. I don't really remember learning too much about how to handle yourself through a pandemic in nursing school, and was not anything that I expected to experience in my entire life. Maybe I fell asleep during class on those days. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it was. I worked at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore in neuroscience, so neurosurgery patients, neurology patients, and our epilepsy monitoring unit for seizures. And during the pandemic, my job completely changed. I would go to work every day having absolutely no idea where I was going to be sent to work. They would send me to the emergency room. They would send me to the COVID units. They would send me to other short staffed units, and they would send me to the oncology building where I would sometimes be a nurse, and other times I would help train people on how to use the protective equipment for COVID. Other times I would help transport patients with COVID or who were suspected to have COVID to imaging or to other units, and I would wear my big Darth Vader papper or stormtrooper papper mask, and just like spend 12 hours doing this stuff. And so it was very scary
Wow.
first. And I remember, the day they told us that we would be getting COVID patients and would be doing all these crazy things, I went home and I was absolutely overwhelmed. I was so scared, and I reached out to all my friends, my colleagues in nursing, my friends outside of nursing, and I just said, I don't know if I could do this. This is so scary. And finally, like after, I mean, that helped a little bit, got some validation for sure. But finally, I just, decided to open up a devotional book I had because I'm like, oh, maybe I can get some comfort from this book that's, spiritual,
Mm.
to God, help me connect with him a little bit more. And I remember I read this story about this girl who went scuba diving for the first time in the Denver Aquarium, actually. And she um, had never done it before. And she noticed that, or actually, it wasn't scuba diving, it was snorkeling. And if you've ever snorkeled before, it's an interesting experience where you have to kind of float on the top of the water so you can see all the fish and relax. And when she was trying to do it, she had a really hard time floating. Like she kept thrashing and sinking and just was getting water up her nose, and it wasn't fun. And at one point she was just thinking about throwing in the towel and turning in. And that the lifeguard came over, or the aquarium guide, and he was like, you know, you can give up if you want to, but I think what you really need to do is just relax. And when you relax, you'll float. But when you thrash around, you're going to sink. And as I was thinking about that, I just realized I was really thrashing. It was so hard for me not to because I was panicking. This was a really hard situation. But I actually have the book right here, and I just want to read you a quote from it that really touched me. And she basically said she compared experience to what it's like to follow God. She said, when we follow God with our lives, it's only a matter of time before we find ourselves in a situation that feels foreign, bigger than us, and intimidating, forcing us to face our fears, requiring more of us than we think we have to give. In situations like these, I think we have two choices. We can go into them tense, trying to keep ourselves afloat on our own, thrashing as we try to maintain control of our surroundings and our lives, or we can go into these situations having taken a deep breath, relaxing consciously and purposefully, and
Yeah, I lost you just for a second.
can you hear me?
Probably the last paragraph.
Okay, we can go into the
I can hear you now.
tense, trying to keep ourselves afloat as we are thrashing as we maintain control of our surroundings and our lives, or we can go into these situations having taken a deep breath, relaxing consciously and purposefully, and reminding ourselves that God has this. He is with us, He's in control, and He's taking care of us. When we thrash, we sink, but when we relax, we float. And that, just reading that really hit me really hard at that moment, because I was like, I just got down on my knees and I was like, Heavenly Father, I'm so sorry that I'm thrashing right now. This is scary. This is unexpected. This is more than I thought I'd ever be able to handle in my career. Nothing that I ever imagined would happen. And I'm so sorry. But I need some help. Like, forgive me for thrashing, but help, if you could help me find out how to relax, that would be great. And you know,
that's where you asked the Savior for help.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And it didn't, all my panic and automatically go away. But I felt like a major portion of them were alleviated. And looking back on the pandemic and my experiences, I was able to see tender mercies that God sent me in the workplace that helped me keep my head up, help me keep going. He blessed me with colleagues that would sit with me and talk with me, and we'd be all in this together, and it was just this camaraderie, and it was wonderful. He blessed me with patience who would, you know, thank me so deeply for things, and people in the community who would thank me, and it just really helped me choose that faith over fear during hard times.
Yeah. So my friend Sandy, who is a convert to the church, and she lives in West Jordan, she just said, I'm a retired ER nurse. And she says, you're amazing. And I had the opportunity to go to the temple with Sandy and one other friend of ours from Instagram when I was out there in Utah in November. It was the beginning of November. We went to the Jordan River Temple and we did a session together. And so I can tell you from the bottom of my heart that people do care, because just got a comment from a nurse and she used to take care of apostles. And that's all I can say. But that was the reason for her to be baptized, was feeling the Spirit. So isn't that cool, Ashley?
Yeah, that's awesome, Sandy. It's nice to meet you and your kind words.
Yeah. And so, and our friend Karen says, and she's in St. George, says, thank you for your example of faith and courage. And I got to say, you did something on Instagram, and I want to encourage people to follow you because you post a lot of encouraging things. And there was something that you did as a giveaway. You were giving out a PDF form of a book you were doing, or it was a worksheet, a workbook, I believe. And you just said, DM me and I'll give it away to anybody who wants it. And that is a true disciple of Christ right there. That is. So That is super. Super. You see those comments coming in. Oh, she's in Cedar City. I'm sorry, not St. George. Um, but yeah, so my friend Karen is in Cedar City. But if you click on in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see Fear of a Faith, and you can click on Ashley and then follow. She would greatly appreciate that because she does spend a lot of time putting together a lot of great posts. And I am proud to follow her. I really am. So
Uh,
it's an honor. So yeah, I saw pictures of you when you were, our friend Dr. Christy Caines made a comment when you were talking about how um, they don't teach that in nursing school. And she wrote, yeah, they don't teach it at BYU. So how to get through a pandemic. But they teach you how to get through scriptural challenges and faith crisis,
yeah,
right?
that's so funny.
Yeah. So you're in Boston now. Do you want to share what it is you do, or and some experience that you had at BYU that gave you the foundation to be where you are today?
Yeah, I'm in Boston now. I left my job in Baltimore and became a travel nurse actually, and came out here for a contract for a job. Travel nursing, have like contracts for 3 months, and then you can choose to go somewhere else or stay. And I've been here for the last 6 months. It's kind of funny though because I'm a neuroscience nurse, and by some accident, I got my neuro job and then suddenly became a psychiatry nurse, which I know was the big guy upstairs. He wanted me to have some more experience with mental health, and I'm very grateful. It's been an amazing experience. But yeah, just been travel nursing. I actually am here with my classmate from BYU. We went to nursing school together, and we're both still single and rocking the world. And so we just came out here together and decided to. She works in labor and delivery, and I work in psychiatry now. So it's been a blast. But yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
of
So
BYU.
that's another thing for our 21 people. Our 21 people, our 23 people who are on here now, if you are single and know of a single man, Ashley is single. So
Oh
we can
God.
play a little hookup here, but I only have 21% of my followers are men. That's it.
Oh
The
really?
rest are women. So, but I'm sure they know somebody. They have brothers.
I'm a big advocate for the
Yep.
single the church
So
too. Yes.
yeah, that's so. Do you want to talk about that at all?
I mean, it's interesting
Oh,
being a
yeah.
member of the church. I know that there's more awareness now about how many of us there are. Like over 50% of us are single, which is interesting because there's a big focus on marriage in the church and family, and sometimes that can be really hard for us because we feel so much pressure. And it's also very hard for people in the LGBTQIA plus population too. I'm sure you probably know about that,
Mm,
but you feel this constant cultural pressure, and I've just had to like find a ways to still respect the fact that marriage is a desire of mine, family is a desire of mine, but God has given me this beautiful period of my life where I can work on myself and develop who I want to be, heal from past things that have happened, and enjoy the moment now. And that's what I
yeah,
work really hard to do and help others
yeah,
do too, because it's hard for sure, but it can be fun.
yeah. It is. It is. And I admire that in you because I mean a lot of people, will say to me, "How can you be a full temple recommend holder with the church and stuff?" And but I'm like I'm following the same law of chastity as more than 50% of our fellow brothers and sisters who are in the church and following that same law of chastity.
Yeah.
So, and our friend Dr. Christy Kane said, "I'm single too." And those of you who do our Tuesday therapy Tuesdays will know she is single. And we have my friend Marion's daughter says, "I have a son, have a beautiful 23-year-old single son. He lives in Farmington, Utah.
Oh,
Holler." So, uh, and you have actually, Ashley, do you want to read those comments?
oh, let's see. I wait. Oh, what happened? I think. Wait. I'm trying to read them. I think that
Okay, so
growing
we,
our faith in the midst of fear is mind over matter. A lot of negative things can hit us, but when we focus on how strong we are, our faith can grow exponentially. And I think that faith over fear is a large part of singleness as well, because, there's fear maybe that we're
yeah.
not doing things the way God wants because of this focus on marriage. There's trying to find faith to trust God and His plan for us when things aren't going the way we want to. And when unexpected things happen, when we don't get married before we graduate from BYU, because that's what everyone goes to BYU for, right? And stuff like that. So there's definitely an element there too.
Yeah, yeah. So it's, well, not growing up in the church, I'm not familiar with that, but I joined the church in my late 40s knowing um, the commandments I would have to follow. And my friend Marion's daughter says, whoops, ha ha ha, sorry, my message got all messed up. I understand what that's like because I can't do this on my little iPhone. So I totally get it, Marion, or even on my iPad. I can't seem to message on that. So, oh, she wrote, I'd love to have my Jackson meet you. Also, I love faith over fear. And Dennis, it's a Christmas miracle you're doing a live. I've missed you. You're so sweet, but know how busy you are. Yes, I have been busy. And that's one of my, I've been seeing Marie Osmond, holler.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Um, so I think that was a great message for this Sabbath Sunday. And to celebrate the Sabbath is to talk about, I'm sorry to bring work into this on the Sabbath, but because we try to keep the Sabbath day holy, but some of our friends like Ashley needs to work on because she's, saving lives. And, so there's exceptions to that. But I also think that the faith over fear was a really good topic for tonight and to always bring it back to scripture. Um, she says, oh, Marion says, you mean Marie Osmonds have been seeing you. She's funny. So yes, it's been quite the roller coaster experience, I have to say. But I will be going live with Marie Osmond in January, and I'll keep everybody posted. So we'll be doing a live in person. So it'd be super cool. I'm like, wow, how did this happen? So, and Marion, you're the last comment. Dennis, you are such a light to all. God bless you and Ashley. Well, we are sending love and light your way. And please, if you're following this as IGTV, you can click on the link and follow Ashley. Or if you're following live, you can click on the link in the upper left-hand corner and click follow. And thank you for all of your love. And our last comment is from CASS, and she says, wonderful. Sandy from West Jordan says, it happens because you're awesome. Well, you're all awesome. So make this an awesome Sabbath day and an awesome week. And we're sending love and light your way. Thanks,
Thank you.
Ashley.
Yeah. See ya.
Love you, sister. We'll see each other soon.
Yeah, for sure.